ask you this morning, what is it that causes you anxiety? What is it that causes you to worry? And if I were to ask you right at this moment, what is it that you're worried about? I'm sure you'd all have something, right? I mean, you all have something that's on our mind, something that kind of captures our thoughts, something that overtakes us almost. If you read this quote at the top of, you notice I have fact sheets this morning. Never done that before in my life. Just thought I'd keep you all on your toes. This quote says, worry is a thin stream of fear trickling through the mind. If encouraged, it cuts a channel into which all other thoughts are drained. Have you ever found yourself so concerned about something, so much anxiety over something, that it literally became your focus? And everything else kind of took a back seat? Or everything else kind of filtered through whatever that was or is? That you had anxiety or have worry? It does, doesn't it? I mean, it almost paralyzes us to where we can't think about anything else. Are there people in your life that cause you anxiety? I have people in my life that cause me anxiety. And one of those people, and I love this man to death. So it's not the type of anxiety where it's like, man, I can't stand to be around him. I don't like him. It's just that type of anxiety where you're just really careful. And that's my father-in-law. Now, I tend to be somewhat of a people pleaser anyway. I tend to be like a peacemaker. Like I just want everybody to get along. Okay? I just want everybody to get along. I want my relationships to be intact. If I don't know, I've probably had this with some of you before. If we have a disagreement on something, or if something happens that maybe just even a little bit puts our relationship in a little bit of like, I cannot go to sleep at night until I have called you or approached you or, just, can we just talk about this right now? Because I'm not going to be able to sleep. And I know that's biblical, but I don't necessarily do it because it's biblical. I do it because that's just something that I value is I need my relationships okay. Now, they're not all perfect, but I just need them. I need them to be where it's like, okay, we can figure this out. We can work through this. Maybe not tonight, but we'll work through this. Well, my father-in-law, he's one of those that I just really want to please him. And not only do I want to please him, I just don't want him to have any thoughts that toward me that I just want him to be. I want him to look at me and say, you know what? I'm proud that my daughter married this man. Well, last summer, and we're actually going down this week on Tuesday. Amy's parents have this house down. They say it's on Table Rock Lake. To me, a house on a lake means like you walk out the back door and there's the lake. That's not really the case. I say it's a house that's within walking distance of Table Rock Lake. Well, he's a big-time fisherman. And I used to fish quite a lot, but I am in no way like a good fisherman. This guy's been in like professional tournaments, and they got this house down there so that now that he's retired, he can go down there and spend like a week at a time just fishing. So we're down there last year about this time, and beforehand he calls me and said, hey, I'd like to take you out fishing one of these days that we're down here. And so I said, okay. and I'm already like anxiety, like seriously, like, okay. Well, I'm not going to turn him down because like this is a great opportunity to spend some time with him, and it's just one of those things he likes to do. So I said, okay. So I go get my fishing license. You know, I spent like $50 on it because I didn't know you could get like a 3-day license, and so I bought the whole year deal. And guess what? I haven't been since then. And if I want to go this time, I think we went earlier last year, so I'm gonna have to get another one. But anyway, but now I know you can spend like $12 and get like a 1-day or something like that. So anyway, so we get down there. Well, he's got a boat, a fishing boat, and this guy he's really anal about stuff, and he takes really good care of his stuff. And so, okay, I'm gonna go out fishing with him, all right? So I know from past experience that he's really anal about his poles and his tackle, and it has to be in a certain spot. And he's really anal about his boat. And there's been a couple times where he's had me back the truck with the trailer down. Talk about anxiety. I'm like, I'm going to hit reverse instead of drive or park or something and fly the truck into the lake. And so we're out on the boat, and it's a day like yesterday and like the 20 previous to this. It was hot. Now, this man can fish all day. It does not matter to him. Now, me, I'm light complected. I really don't like the sun. I don't even really like swimming. And so, it's only like 8 o'clock because we got out there at 6. I mean, we're 2 hours into this, and I'm done. I am finished. He's catching stuff. I'm using his poles. I'm casting like once for his every 3 because the line can't get tangled. He's using, you know what? Okay, fine, line can't get tangled, so I can't tangle the line, so I'm like very careful about not tangling the line. Then, I like to drink pop, so I got a pop sitting on the upholstery of the boat, because the boat's like carpeted. And hey, don't spill that pop, because, man, it's hard to get out of that car. Okay, so I got the pop behind me. Don't spill the pop. Okay, don't tangle the line. And then it's like, make sure you don't, when you come back, you don't get it into the motor. Okay, I'm going to think of the motor. Okay. So I'm trying to think through all these things. Well, I'm catching a few fish. He's catching them left and right. And he goes, tell you what, why don't you try this? So he gives me a different pole. So he's got enough poles that he doesn't even have to change the lures. He just gets a new pole out. Like, sheesh, okay, whatever. So he gives me this pole with this new lure thing on it. I don't even know what it was. Had a weight on it and a worm. He's like, drop it down to the bottom and just do this. Oh, that's nice. I can do that. That way I don't have to cast. I can just sit there and do this. Well, just about that time, I pull up and bam! This fish hits this thing hard. I mean, I've caught fish in my life. And, usually it's somewhere with my kids when we're catching these little things here off the dock or something. This thing hit, and I thought I had snagged it on a rock on the bottom. And here's the other thing, is the tip of the pole doesn't go in the water. Well, this fish pulled the tip of my pole in the water. So I'm going, oh my goodness, the tip of the pole's in the water. Well, he sees this. Well, he can tell by something that it's not snagged on a rock. There's a fish on this thing. And so, he also has this thing about reeling in. Still don't understand it. But he's like, reel, reel, reel. There's a time when you reel and a time when you pull. And I can't figure out what happens. I'm pulling, no, reel, and I'm reeling, no, pull. And so I am like trying to get this thing in. And I don't know how long it took. But it took quite a while because he's like, okay, let a little line out. Okay. And then a couple times he took the pull from me. And I'm just wanting to go, you just want to do this? I'm good with it. I don't care. I won't break. Well, about that time, I stepped back and I knocked my pop over. I went, oh, shoot, crud. Well, he's so worried about the fish, I'm going, okay, pick that up and, try to, like you guys do when you spill your coffee in here instead of, going and getting a paper towel. Yeah, trust me, I know, I clean this place. So I'm going, oh, my goodness, what am I doing? So we get this fish in, and no kidding, this was a bass. It was a largemouth bass. I've never seen a largemouth bass this big in my life. He estimates by holding it that it was about 7.5 pounds. Okay? Pretty big fish. I've caught 4-pounders before, but this was a big fish. So he holds it up.